happy Saturday and welcome to the Connect Show Twin Cities. I'm Natalie Cargile and I'm so happy that the Connect Show Twin Cities will be waking you up every Saturday morning right here on the CW23. You see, for me and the other girl bosses, Saturdays are all about success, and it's time for you to meet some of the Twin Cities' finest as we plan to inspire, to influence, and also network with women in business and female entrepreneurs all across Minnesota. Are you ready to meet the hosts of the Connect Show Twin Cities? I can't wait. Welcome, Miss LASHA RADDATZ, Michaela Club, and NANNE to the show. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Can you believe it?
No.
We're here. We're here on the CW23. And I'm so happy to be sharing this platform with all of you. You ladies are mothers, you're dreamers, you're doers, you're girl bosses. And I want to give the people an opportunity to learn a little bit about each of you. So who wants to go first?
I'll go first. Good morning, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. My name is LASHA RADDATZ. I am a realtor out of the Twin Cities. I do have two children, so I'm a mom, first and foremost. I have a 24-year-old living her dream out in LA, and a 14-year-old here, my athlete. And so I do have a team of realtors that we run out of Uptown office, Keller Williams Lagoon. And so just super excited to be here and meet and inspire other girl bosses around the Twin Cities.
Yes. Hey, everyone. I'm NANNE. I'm so excited to be here to chat all things business. If you know me, you know I love business. So before business always comes, of course, my husband and two kiddos. I have a 2.5-year-old and a 9-month-old from a small town, Spicer, Minnesota, where I grew up around my parents who are hard workers. My mom was the director of the probation offices in my county, meaning she means business. So, and then my dad owns a restaurant. So I grew up as a waitress there, which, as you can imagine, lots of different personalities that you surround yourself with, which was really good for me growing up. Now looking back, I will say I didn't love it at the time, but it was so good for me.
Right.
Yes. And then I started my first business in college at the U of M. I was so busy that I couldn't even make it to class. And then I started my brick and mortar, or opened my first brick and mortar, which was on 50th and France in Edina. And then at age 25, started a second company, which was the Face Foundry with a partner, where we grew it to 3 different locations. And then I sold my share. And then now I'm on to my third business, and it's a dream come true. It's a lash aesthetic and brow bar, and it is located in Edina as well.
Girl boss.
Love it.
Well, and of course, we have Miss Michaela Club in the building. Welcome, Michaela.
Thanks, Natalie. Happy Saturday, y'all. Like Natalie said, my name is Michaela Club, born and raised right here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And I'm excited just to kick my Saturday off with y'all, feel good, be empowered, and be inspired. I am a mom of 2. I have a 3-year-old and an 18-month-old. So busy. I'm also a mom who works and is a new entrepreneur. So I'm excited to connect and grow and learn with you each week.
Well, it's going to be good. And we are going to be growing together on this journey called success. Each week, we're going to bring you new women across Minnesota at all levels of business. So don't think you have to be NANNE. NANNE hasn't told you yet, but in her first year, she was able to grow her business to $1 million. $1 million in revenue. So that's a big deal. But we have seasoned vets in the game, and we also have brand new entrepreneurs. This is your home for all things success on Saturdays. So coming up next, we are sitting down with my girlfriend from childhood. Like, I could cry, but these lashes, right, Allie?
Yeah.
She is coming up next. She has grown into a powerhouse. I can't wait for you to meet Maria Conat Howard. She's up next after the break.
Are you the best in the Midwest? But no one knows. It's time to let the Twin Cities know. Register today to purchase your very own industry standard commercial. It's time to turn things up in 2021 and put yourself out there. Visit us today at theconnectonline.com and let us create your TV ad for network media. www.theconnectonline.com.
Welcome back to the Connect Show. City right here on the CW23. So, from a graduate of St. Ben's to Chief Revenue Officer at Linkage, Maria Howard is bringing the heat on your Saturday morning. Welcome, Maria.
Thank you, Natalie. I am honored to be here with all of you. What an incredible group of women serving this community. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, we are talking women in business and female entrepreneurs and the level up. And you, my dear, are overqualified to be our very first guest on the show. And I'm honored to have you here as well. From business leadership to business inclusion, packaging, promoting, and even pricing, you do work with large corporations to help them wrap their offers up in a bow, right? And generate more income. And that's what we're all looking for. Share more on your role there at Linkage.
Absolutely. So at Linkage, we are here to change the face of leadership, to define what good leadership looks like, and to literally change the face of leadership by ensuring that we have leaders from underrepresented populations across an organization. And so my role as Chief Revenue Officer is to be obsessed with the client experience. And how do we create and package, sell, and deliver leadership development that creates impact not only for the individual, but for the organization? Because here's the good news. The most important asset any organization has is its people. So if you want to grow, if you want to increase your revenue, you have to activate the power of the people in your organizations. I also get the awesome opportunity to be a speaker, a consultant, and a coach, and work directly with leaders from all around the world. So it's a pretty amazing role that I get to have.
Wow, is right. Has anyone told you you look like Blake Lively? Oh my God, I can't. I'm like talking to Blake Lively right now.
Thank you for making my day. I'm very honored for you to say such a thing. I've heard it once or twice. It's very generous.
Oh my God, it's crazy. But anyways, let's talk more about leadership development, because you also help companies select their next CEOs and develop leadership in general. What are some leadership skills that are a must-have when hiring, and how can women grow in their skills in general?
So here's what we know. The path to leadership is different for women. We face unique obstacles. We call them hurdles that can get in the way of advancement. And so we have to overcome these hurdles. And so whether it's a new role or a promotion you're looking for, there's two things I would focus on. The first is clarity. Be explicit and succinct about your experiences, your achievements, and your future vision. In other words, own your story. I am lucky to work with this incredible woman named Ashoka Abalu. She's a futurist. She's an architect. And every time she meets somebody new, she asks them one question. What is your superpower? We talk about our titles. We don't talk about where we're located. We represent our story. So clarity will make you both memorable, and it's an opportunity to be strategic in how you talk about what you do. The second thing I would do is invest in your network, in your community, who will champion you, will challenge you, and who will make you better. So clarity and building that network, which what all of you are doing this morning, are two critical things to make sure that you can be successful in that next role.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you majored in psychology and communications, and I did as well. So reading that was like, oh, a girl of my own. So I'd love to talk about like psychology. How does that play into the way that we market to our buyers?
Absolutely. So what psychology grounded me in was, how do you think empathetically? How do you see from someone else's view of the world? And to do that, you have to know what somebody really wants. Right? It's connecting to their personal why.
Let's talk about inclusion. I love your excellence in this area. And I want to know, are you seeing more corporations being interested in this idea of diversity and inclusion?
The good news is yes. We are seeing a massive uptake in inclusion work in this last 6 months alone. And when you think about what's happened over the last year, the impact of the racial injustice that we are confronting in a way we never have before, the gender injustice, women are losing jobs 2 times faster than men currently. And the social injustice that the pandemic has shown, it has created a need to stop talking about something and to start taking action. Yeah. And that starts with the top, the people who have the power to set policy, to put investment toward this. So the good news is a lot of organizations are paying attention to inclusion. It's one of their top priorities. And we have the data, we have the platform, we now have the movements where everyone can walk into work and demand that their uniqueness and belonging is allowed. And so I think there's a real opportunity that's going to happen over the next couple of years in a way that probably has never been there before. And when I'm talking to CEOs on any given week, this is one of their #1 priorities. So I'm very encouraged by that, that we're moving from this conversation to a place of I have to take action, I have to invest, not only in the employees that I have, but in the communities that we serve.
You know, as you think about how you've built your own brand, because even though you're working with Linkage, you've built, I mean, you have a brand in your excellence. Is there a failure that you have had to overcome? And if so, how have you done that in business?
Well, there are lots of failures. You cannot grow, you cannot learn if you don't, fall down and stumble and pick yourself back up, because, experience is kind of that rushing in of knowledge, right? So it's a good thing to fail. Otherwise, we are not expanding our skill sets. But there is an inflection point in my leadership journey where I moved from a place of being, I would say, neutral to being authentic out loud. And I'll explain what that means. As I was getting my first leadership experiences, I had the disease to please. I thought I needed to serve everyone else, that my voice wasn't as powerful, that I to learn and listen instead of kind of step up and share who I am. And so when I moved from that neutral position to being authentic out loud, asking for what I want, not being afraid to take a contrary position, and letting people know who I really am, I became much more effective. I connected better, had more confidence. To your point, Nat, my brand became known. And I was also willing to make critical choices and critical decisions. And so I would say to everyone out there, you don't have to quiet yourself. Your uniqueness matters. It's your differentiator. And for me, that allowed me to really bring my leadership to the next level.
Girl, Lord have mercy with you, Cornette Howard. Girl. Wow. Yes. Okay, you can do that because she is all that. I've been following her since we were neighbors growing up in the same neighborhood. God is so good. And I know, and can we just shout out Burnsville real quick?
Burnsville. I was going to say Burnsville in the house.
Maria, you're speaking to authenticity, and that really hits home. And I'm just loving the journey that you shared this far. So as a mommy who works and is a new entrepreneur, do you have any, your best piece of advice for new entrepreneurs out there like me?
Well, first of all, Michaela, you are already doing it. The strength and courage to create something new is enough. So you are enough already. So here's my one piece of advice. Bring the belief of being enough with you every day. We have to quiet that inner critic, that voice in our heads that can express doubt or judgment of ourselves or judgment of others. And we have to tune into our compassion, because that's what will keep us open and growing and thriving. And the only advice I'd have for you is just know every single day that you are enough.
Wow.
Amen.
Wow. Well, this Saturday is just heating up. Stick with us when we return. We will be talking health, wellness, girl time. We all need that in the pandemic. And even a book club. You get all that and more right here on the Connect Show Twin Cities with the new MPLS. Chaz Sandifer is next.
Can be.
Here's a look at Regina King's directorial debut of One Night in Miami. What happens when Cassius Clay, Malcolm X, Jim Brown, and Sam Cooke find themselves in the same room.
Cassius Marcellus Clay is the new heavyweight champion of the world, boy. Yes, he is. And I don't even have a scratch on my face. Oh my goodness. Cash. What's wrong, Cash? What? Cash, what? Why am I so pretty? And I'm only 22 years old. There is no way I'm supposed to be this great. Look, Alexander the Great conquered the whole world.
Available only on Amazon Prime.
Happy Saturday and welcome back to the show. And yes, I am with my girlfriend in spirit because I haven't even met her, but I'm obsessed already. And that is Miss Chaz Sandifer. Good morning, girlfriend.
Happy Saturday, everyone. Good morning.
I'm loving the gear already.
Thank you.
New MPLS.
Yes.
And we've been watching you do big things in Minnesota. That's why you were on this very first episode, and we're just so honored to have you. You know, for the past 10 years, Shay, you have been reinventing health and wellness in Minneapolis, earning several certifications as a group fitness instructor and also a lifestyle coach focusing on diabetes prevention. Now, I want you to talk a little bit about that because this affects more women and men than I think we know.
Diabetes prevention is huge. It runs in most of our families. And it was something that was endear to my heart, seeing my parents struggle with that. So with that being said, 10 years ago, I was able to change my life and follow my passion, and that was helping with people with health and wellness. And so something I wanted to focus on was diabetes prevention because it is a silent but deadly disease that is killing people. And the main thing is changing the trajectory of how our people eat. And so that's where it starts with, we all love sugar and salt and everything, but you got to do it in moderation, right? And so if I could help teach people by, using myself as an example and making sure that I stay off medication from seeing family members, and I could teach others how to heal from the inside out.
Love it. Such a great example. And you've also coached nearly, 200 women who are pre-diabetic or overweight. And so what are some things that we should look for or signs that we may need to be aware of?
So if you're struggling, if you think you might have diabetes, first thing is to look down at your feet. So in the morning, a lot of times your ankles and feet are swollen on a consistent basis. If you all of a sudden have gained 15, 20 pounds in a month, you need to contact your physician immediately. Those are some things. And, you'll just be able to tell, like you get very bloated with diabetes too. So very simple things to just look at. If you're tired, constantly dehydrated, those are some signs that you should be looking into that you possibly could be pre-diabetic.
Well, I shared just a little bit ago, I am diabetic, and I was pre-diabetic and didn't take it serious. And so, if you're a personal friend of mine, we've talked about it. I missed an opportunity to kind of, get rid of the diabetes because I didn't take it serious, tingling fingers, feeling like I was going to pass out, and pinned now into this, fight for diabetes. And I tell you, it's really, really hard. So I love and commend that you're trying to help people when they are pre-diabetic. Big to change their lives before they go full-fledged, because I'm here and it's not easy. So
yes. So how you can stop that, LASHA, before you get to full-blown diabetes is changing your diet, drinking a half a gallon to a gallon of water a day, eating, 3 to 5 small meals a day, and, pulling out that sugar and salt. There's tons of different things you can cook with, all types of seasonings and herbs. So those are things to look into by just, eliminating a few things out of there. And obviously the number one thing is exercise. Whether you're walking or kickboxing or lifting weights, please incorporate some exercise 3 to 5 times a week, and that will change everything.
That's amazing. I love that diabetes prevention is so important to you to incorporate into your platform. How did you come to have this passion for prevention?
So like I was saying before, seeing my parents go through that. And then I watched our community, the Black community struggles a lot with prediabetes. And, Black women, I wanted to start with us and how we could help, I could help them change and help them lose weight and deal with that. Because right now, as we see, Black women are earning the most money, but we're also dealing with the most obesity. So diabetes is number one, including heart disease. So those were things I just wanted to make, a presence in the community and let them know that you can stop this. This does not have to be your future and your outcome.
How can people collaborate with you right now? What do you have coming up?
Yeah, so you can always find me on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Those are the 3 platforms I stay on. And then my website, thenewmpls.info. You can reach me on there. I'm collaborating as far as fitness events. Meal Prep with a Twist comes back this Saturday. I'm collaborating with Case Revolutionary. They will be here with me. We're going to have some great new meals to incorporate in your lifestyle. And then my farmers market comes back this summer, which I'm really excited about, to help the community have access to fresh fruit and vegetables. So anything you like. And then also I'm a life and wellness coach. So if you need any life and wellness coaching, please hit me up. And then on Wednesdays, Okay, Allie, I got you. And I need a facial so we can swap. And then on Wednesdays, you can find me every Wednesday morning at 7:30 on Rolling Out. I do my own little show, wellness show, on Wednesday morning. So if you would like, I might need to have you ladies on that show for Wellness Wednesday. Yes.
Love it. Thank you, Shay.
Thank you.
Yes, and yes, I can't think of a better way to start off my Saturday than chatting with you ladies. And, coming up next, we're going to touch on some hot topics. So you at home, how are you building new relationships during the pandemic? Are you linking up with new people, or is it no new friends for you? More on that next.
You make sure you keep your dial on 89hot.9 KMOJ, the People Station. Stop Checking Your Likes is the hottest must-read of the moment. This is not a book about social media. It's about shaking off that need for approval and living your incredible life. It's available everywhere books are sold. We hope you're enjoying the show because we level up your circle one girl boss at a time. You see, it's what I like to call high-hanging fruit. Come reach your next dimension and join the membership at theconnectonline.com.
Well, welcome back to the Connect Show, Twin Cities on the CW23. So, a core part of this show is the Connect community. So much of your success can be affected by those around you. I know you ladies know that by now, right? So if you don't have, you at home, if you don't have the girl bosses around you that you need to be great, consider joining the Connect Network. We've got what I like to call the high-hanging fruit to help you build your brand, your confidence, and your business. So I want to know how you ladies feel. Michaela took us to break, right? And we're talking about making new friends as an adult. Is that something you're willing to do nowadays, even though we are in quarantine? Or are you more like on the Drake status and it's no new friends for you?
Being a new mom, I find that I connect with other new moms, and, whether it be like the music class or the playground or daycare, those natural entry points or intersections in life. I'm like, yeah, the more the merrier.
Yeah, I found through my divorce, I really wanted connection, and your friends are all going through stuff, right? And I didn't want to be that hogging the friend with all the issues. So I went on a social platform, Meetup, and that worked for me. I met some crazy, amazing women online through Meetup and different little social events that I would go through in the Twin Cities. But you're right, as an adult, how do you meet new friends? It's kind of tough. It's kind of like dating, but you're meeting, women that you don't want to date, you want to be friends with. It's tough.
I feel like recently, people have come into my life at the perfect time, just who I need to come into my life. I don't know about you guys, but when I was pregnant, I had great friends who came into my life who were also pregnant, and now they're my best friends. But I don't know. I feel like people come into your life to perfect timing.
Yeah, like they say, the reason, the season, or the lifetime friends. And I think for me, the older I get, I'm super busy, so I don't have all this time to go make new friends. I have a lot of little children. I have twins that are 3 and a 6-year-old, so they do keep me busy, and we're remote learning from home. So I'm in the crazy house, as I like to say. So when I do make a new friend, I really am now learning to take the relationship slow. you know, a lot of times we get into these new things and we just dive right into them. But now, you know, I really value my time and my energy, and I also value my friendship. So I'm very particular with who I lend myself to, because as we all know, you know, sometimes things don't always go the way you plan. So I'm always open to new friends, but you got to be a good one to get, as they say, up in here.
I agree. I love it.
Yeah, there's levels to it, right? And adult friendship can kind of be uncomfortable because, like you said, you're trying to balance, like, do I have time for this? You kind of have to put yourself out there a little bit. Like Lasha said, you went on a platform or app, and so there has to be a willingness, right?
Yeah.
So it's a risk. When's the last time that you all took a risk and you feel like, yep, that paid off for me? That was a good choice.
Selling my share of Face Foundry was one of the biggest risks I have ever taken. I sold during a pandemic, worst timing ever, but I feel like no amount of money can pay for the stress I was going through and the time lost with my kids.
Just really quick, I was a single agent. I was asked to join this team. I thought he wanted me to join him as an agent on his team. And he's like, no, I want you to run the show with me. I said, oh, that's a different conversation. And my business exploded. I have just never had the amount of success as I had last year. And that was a big risk that I'm so glad that I took. So
I love that. And I'll share a quick risk myself. You know, we got our first deal on television. If you're new to the Connect Network and the Connect Show, this show also broadcasts in Austin on the CW in Austin, Texas. It broadcasts on the Fox 24 in West Texas. We broadcast in West Palm Beach on Fox 29. And then, of course, here on the CW, on the CW 23. And in March, well, I should say February, that's when we really signed our first agreement with a network in Texas. And then the pandemic hit. And my company and my business was really focused on in-person events and personal relationships, masterminds, connecting with people, but we couldn't connect in that way. And when the show started, we were having a few kind of hiccups with the network to keep things light. And my husband at one point said, are you sure you want to keep doing this? And I thought, well, you know, really, it's the only thing that I can do right now because people are not getting together. And by golly, that was 1 year ago next month. And now the show is in 4 markets across the country. And that was a risk that I am so happy that I took.
Well, I mean, I hope you've enjoyed the show. If you've got some girl boss magic our viewers can be inspired by, we'd love to have you as a guest on our show. Email us, please, at contact@theconnectonline.com, and we will get you registered.
And join our membership networking group today at www.theconnectonline.com. We will see you next week. Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
Bye.
You make sure you keep your dial on 89hot.9 KMOJ, the People Station.